Hello, Joanne.
Hello, nice to see you.
You know what? This audience has no idea that we've been using your company and talking repeatedly on the phone for about 7 years. And this is the first time, this is the first night that my wife and I ever met you face to face. So it's really nice to see you.
Thank you.
I want to give the audience a little bit of an idea of what you do, very briefly, and then let you say whatever you want to say about it. Then I want to ask you some questions that are on my mind, which I've never asked because they didn't apply, but they will apply to our audience. So basically what you've done for us in our businesses has been you provide, at this point online, the ability for us to take credit cards. And I will say, and I'm sure you're going to talk about this a little bit, that in our business, 99.9% of everything we did comes from online sales. And if we didn't have those credit cards online, you know, waiting for checks is the old day. So I know there's a ways around that, but credit cards are it. So I want to say that we brought you on the program tonight so that the audience could meet someone that we trust, that we know. You have absolutely proven without any question that when there was any issue, because there's issues in business, that you are there for us, you're on top of stuff, and you wouldn't be sitting here if I didn't trust you. So again, I welcome you very much, and I encourage the audience, if you're looking at this tonight and you're thinking about having credit cards, this is the lady to call. So Joanne, tell us a little bit about your company, tell us a little bit about what you do, and I'll just let you talk.
WorldPay is a global company. We are leaders in modern money. We are the leading direct acquirer. There is no middleman.
Okay.
And we operate in over 20 countries.
Wow.
In Europe, Asia, and the Americas.
Okay.
And we process for a few companies you may have heard of, the IRS, Apple, Dell,
no, you're fired
eBay.
if you do the IRS.
So,
I don't want to hear anymore.
Anyway, so the IRS has continually used us, so that's a good thing when people want to go online and pay their IRS bill.
Right. Good. Okay. So tell me what's involved. I mean, I know because we've done it, but for the audience, tell me what's involved right from the beginning. In other words, I'm just starting a business, or I've been in business for a little while and I need to increase my business. We're going to be talking to many people over the coming weeks about how to increase business, but I know without any question, and you probably know the statistics, I don't know them, that if you take credit cards, your sales volume, the amount per sale is drastically higher than if people have to come up with it out of their pocket. So tell me what's the process to get started so I can take credit cards if I'm a brand new business or I'm an existing business.
Don, you're absolutely correct when you say that it will boost business by taking credit cards.
I know that.
Studies show that people who will they'll spend more money when they use a credit card. And customer will usually lose up to 80% of business if they do not take the credit card.
Yep.
And most Americans have 4 bank credit cards.
Okay.
So for a person that wants to take a credit card,
You mean a company?
Or a company, a business, I'm speaking about these individuals that you're dealing with. They could either be a sole proprietor, non-public incorporated, or those would be an LLC.
Right.
So they would set up a business and they would have a EIN number, or if they were a sole proprietor, they would use their social security number.
Right.
And
you can handle all of those kind of accounts.
Yes, I can.
Wonderful.
And because we operate under the Patriots Act, we like to know who we're dealing with. So we like to have the driver's license and the business license, and the check needs to have the same address as the business license.
Right.
So all those things have to
They got to be
correspond.
legit. They got to be legit.
And because of that, we want to know for security reasons. A business setting up with WorldPay and the business next door using WorldPay, they're going to know that that's not a money laundering business next door.
Sure. Okay, so it's fairly simple. How about credit? I mean, that's got to have something to do with it. If I'm a sole proprietor, how's my credit got to be? If I'm a corporation, is it based on my credit, or how does that work?
WorldPay does have underwriting guidelines that we do look at credit, but I have had people that had gone bankrupt and I was able to write their business. But it's a one-to-one.
Yeah,
You have it's all individual.
Okay. So let me try to, this is ignorance now speaking to you, okay? The only way I've done business is, online, has been using your service, okay? But then nowadays, for instance, we had some work done at the house the other day, and a guy comes and he has on his phone this little thing you stick in your phone, and then I got a receipt like 2 seconds later from the Square or Square something or whatever it is. And I don't know, is that something that you do? Is that something, because I know that there's different levels of, when the company receives a credit card and they take the money, there's a percentage that you get. So are there higher percentages for different kinds of uses, like PayPal's another one? Can you talk to me a little bit about that?
Of course. That's a good question. Now, WorldPay will allow a merchant, a business person, to take a credit card whether they're in person, online, or mobile, on the go. And you spoke about Square, which is a marvelous concept. They really, the micro merchant can take a credit card, but the advantage of using WorldPay over other options, mobile options, is our rate is more competitive. Definitely more competitive
I can say
between
that for
Square and PayPal.
Right. Okay, so he was using this little Square, so I assume that's another company that's doing that.
Right.
If I was doing, what do you call it, power washing, okay, and that was my business, and I wanted to collect a credit card, and I don't have the Square, and I'm in the field, how would they do it with your service?
We have the same little toggle that you can put into your Android, your iPhone, or your iPad, and you stick it in, and you can take a card present, or you can take a card not present, which you would key in the numbers, and there's very secure questions. You ask for address, zip code, to make sure you know that the card's not stolen. But there's less risk in taking a credit card when you swipe it than when you enter it card not present.
Okay, and how about PayPal? I as a business person, I know my wife, who does all of our books, she hates PayPal.
Well, PayPal is a good company. Actually, WorldPay partners with PayPal, but we, using WorldPay directly, it is a better rate.
Okay. All right, so you can do PayPal also. So you pretty much cover the market.
Yes.
Anything that people need?
You're going through WorldPay.
I understand.
Right.
But they can use their
exactly.
PayPal.
You can use the PayPal,
their experience and so on.
There is a gateway.
I know a lot of people like PayPal because then they don't have to give the merchant their information, and it's secured with PayPal.
Well, you're processing through authorized.net.
Yes.
Correct. That's a very safe, secure gateway.
Right. One of the things that's happened in our business, like all the time, is we're always getting phone calls from people that either know us or whatever, saying, send me your last 3, merchant statements, and I'll beat it. And you did the same thing, and you beat it. Okay.
Actually, no, I did not call you. You were a referral from a customer of mine.
Oh, what do I know? I said I don't do the books, so that must be. But I figured that's what happened because I have done that several times.
Sure.
And you have beat everybody.
Well, I give you my best offer the first time. I don't need to have someone come and compete.
Right.
And there are only a few direct acquirers, and there are probably over 4,000. They're called ISOs. They're called Independent Sales Organizations, and usually there will be a bank, for example, Wells Fargo or Bank of America. They go through another processor. They go through one of us, and then there's usually a third party of a third party. So WorldPay is a leading direct acquirer.
Okay, so that's what that means.
That's what that means. And these places that are calling, they're rooms full of people, and it's good that these people have jobs and they are calling, and they need to have a quota of setting appointments.
Right.
So they'll pressure you and pressure you and pressure you. As a matter of fact, one of my customers has a boutique, and I happened to be there one day, and she gets this phone call, and she goes, "Take it. So she goes, I don't know how to handle these calls anymore. I get so many a day. So I get on the phone and I start asking questions. They hung up on me because they didn't know the answers to these questions.
That's great.
So
That's great.
they hung up on me.
Well, I just want to ask you, is there anything that I haven't said or asked you, anything that you could say to our audience that you think they need to know, whatever, before we end this interview?
You had great questions. I hope I answered them.
You did.
Bottom line, taking credit cards will boost a
Absolutely.
business by all means.
Joanne, thank you.
you.
It's a pleasure not only meeting you tonight, but having you.
Well, I felt that in my mind, your voice, I knew what you looked like already.
That's fine.
So I was very, very close. Meeting you
Again,
and your wife has been my pleasure.
Thank
and
you
working
again.
with you.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you again for coming.
Thank you.